Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Let me straighten up my tie here. Shout out to all my beautiful people. We already gave a call live in the group today. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. Let's see what's happening here on the live. Shout out to everybody here. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer, self-made millionaire. Took it from $1, baby. Let's go. You can too. That's the day. That's the key. That's the goal. I want everyone here to hit their financial goals so they can be free. I know we're not going to be trillionaires or, there's always the overseers of the world that are above us. I know, unless we become the richest people in the world, which you never know. Elon Musk did, but there's probably still someone richer than him that we don't know about. These are facts, right? But what you can do is you can take a boat out on a Wednesday afternoon instead of working a 9 to 5. You can go golfing on a Friday and leave work early or stop. You know what I mean? If you own your own business, you can live a life that is just far more enjoyable than having to be at someone's office 9 to 5, 10 to 6, whatever. I used to work 10 to 6. I sat there every single day. So my channel, what I do every single day here is to help people get out of that rat race, to help people find a solution to make money from home. I'm here every single day. I already gave my students a beautiful trade this morning. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down, what I saw, how I used my system to make money today. Instead of shoving my wins in your face, I'm going to show you how I made the wins. This is the value for you. So you could take this value all the way to the bank and figure out a way to change your life. So shout out to everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you for jumping on in. And let's start the education right off the bat. If you had paid $3 a day to join my Discord, I work tirelessly every single day. There's an oil trade. Oil could be ripping or it could curl. We don't know, but oil looks interesting. And I have a trade on oil right now. It's pretty flat. It's not doing anything. And I got a trade on gold. They're basically evening each other out right now. Gold's up 120. Oil's down 48, right? So nothing really too crazy there. But I'm a made Bitcoin trader, but I do trade gold, NASDAQ, oil in the trading group. So the 1 minute is showing the model for my scalpers. That means you get in here, you put a stop below the 200 moving average. This says that you're going to make money most of the time. I've studied this, especially on a Tuesday morning when you get follow through. It's when you trade it and what you trade. I trade the right model at the right time. Tuesday mornings when you can go hard. I mean, it's when you're supposed to get follow through. We did get the JOLTS job opening. We're going to go over that for you as well. It seemed like it was bullish data. So to me, from what I saw in the market, without even seeing the data, it's telling me that there was the same or more jobs, something similar like a nothing burger. So let's take a look. JOLTS job opening, forecast at 6.89. We're at 6.88. Slightly under, but pretty good. You know what I mean? Pretty all right. Previous, we are down from previous, but we basically hit the mark. We were very close to forecast, which kind of gives you, to me, it's more positive, right? If it was way below forecast, that's a negative sign. Right at forecast means we're kind of right where we're projected to be. That kind of levels the market, makes people say, hey, maybe I could jump into a risk on asset. And there you go. Stock market, Bitcoin, these things start to make a bigger move to the upside. So that's something that you have to take into consideration and believe is happening. And it is. So there you go. Let's take a look what's happening tomorrow. April Fool's Day tomorrow. Core retail sales month over month, ADP non-farm change, all right? And so we're going to have data tomorrow at 8:30 coming our way. Thursday, I believe we have unemployment claims. Yes, we do, at 8:30 in the morning. And Friday, non-farm and unemployment rate. So every day this week, we're going to be getting some major data. Bitcoin, major spike to the upside. Just hit the target of my initial trade this morning. Bang, 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 67,700. You are now in the money. This trade I opened up last night is in the money. And now everything is kind of going my way for the day. I gave this trade to the trading group this morning. I am tooting my own horn. I did give this call. I wake up every single day and I hope to give a live call, right? People pay for my group. I hope to put you in a winning position. If I do that, I go to bed feeling pretty dang good. You paid, you got what you paid for, you got to win. So right here, 1 minute is showing the model for my scalpers. You get in here with a stop below the 200 moving average. I teach this every single day. I go over it time and time and time and time again. And the update, I told you to watch the 1 minute 200 moving average. I told you the 1 minute is the key time frame to focus on. I told you if we lost the 1 minute 200, it meant that the bigger time frames were breaking down. I told you if the 1 minute reclaimed, then it meant that we were going likely higher for the day. I told you how I long scalped, but the original, I got into the scalp. Here's the trade from last night that was underwater, but the scalp actually brought me in. Then the scalp pumped, cleared the loss, and now the loss is actually in gains of $100, right? So now I've already made almost damn near $400 as the morning starts, right? So that's how you do it, all right? I used to make $350 to $400 a day. I used to have to get up, go to work, be there for 16 hours, 8, 10 hours a day. It's crazy. I'd make a little extra. So then I give you some affirmations. We talk about the market. I give you the ranges. I update you on what's happening. Come on, sweetie, let's get that pump. We continually go sideways, chop, 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 but it shows strength, right? Because where's the bears? Then we got the breakout. I show you we got a decent pump. I sold the scalp. One trade down in the green. I sold right there at that first initial area. It shows that we have liquidations above us on BOOKMAP. I provide a heat map for you. This is all given to you for $3 a day, every single day inside the Discord. I don't know what else you want. I work 7 days a week to provide the best information and to show you how to, and you could trade this any market this way. So this is telling us there's a bit of a short squeeze further to the upside, possibly to 70,000, 69K. So it's saying, hey, the darkest red area is above you, meaning that's where the stop losses are. That's where the liquidations are. So a lot of people went short last night here in America. Apparently we woke up and we squeezed them. I can identify a short squeeze. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder there. You cross the 200 moving average. That's the first step. Then you look for consolidation with the 21. That's the second step. And you can see this kind of elongated. It felt like it broke. It faked out a breakout, got back inside, and then when the 21 is touching, inside consolidation with low stochastics right there. That is it doesn't get better than those three indicators. Low stochastic, 21-day moving average, above the 200. I teach this every single day, time and time again. It's insane how relentless I am with the teaching. Because every day there's someone new here that I want to save. And I know that they're doing things emotionally. They're just clicking buttons. They're revenge trading. They're going back and forth. They're not doing anything that's going to help. And they need help. They need education. They need somebody to teach them something immediately to stop the pain. Yeah, exactly. I make the money, then lose it. I make it back, then lose it again and again and again. You got to stay. Well, that's something about you. You think you don't deserve to win, bro. So when you win, you sabotage. You win, you sabotage. You got to start telling yourself that you deserve it. People don't realize how much manifestation has to do with you making money. You must start telling yourself you're worth it. You must start telling yourself you're amazing. You must start talking to yourself in positive affirmations. And it's not about being conceited. That's not I'm the best and all that. No. It's about saying I can do whatever I put my mind to. I can push. Look, when you do something amazing with your life, say you start a business one day, a floral shop. I just picked a floral shop, but you start a floral shop and it goes well. It does really well. One day a kid walks in, he's 12 years old and he buys flowers for his mom. And if he's an entrepreneurial spirit like I was at a young age, I was very entrepreneurial. I would look at your flower shop and I would be admired. I'd be like, look at this man. I might ask you, when did you start? You might have said, I started this 20 years ago. Now I own 3. And I'd be like, wow, what a hustler. So whenever I see someone who does something entrepreneurial and it inspires me to grind, it inspires me to go all the way. That flower guy might have one of the nicest houses in the neighborhood with a beautiful, beautiful landscaping. And you'd be like, oh, that's Billy over there that owns the flower stores. That guy's been working for 50 years. That's why his house is so beautiful. He might actually have a nice car in the driveway. He's not trying to floss. He's not trying to show off. He just lives a high quality life because he works high quality. Lamborghini is the highest quality car. If you work really hard, shouldn't you deserve to ride in the highest quality? Your standards should never be lowered for the world. You should raise your standards and make the world meet them. Amen. That's what Jim Rohn told me. Raise your standards for the world. Don't lower them. Some men see things as they are and say, wow, I see things that never were. And say, why not, baby? Let's go. Let's take a shot of ginger. I'm here to inspire people to go after their dreams. I sat in a cubicle. I sat there for years. I kept thinking, why can't I go after it? Why can't I? And I woke up and get to the next day. It took COVID to change my whole life, to rattle my previous format. And when my previous format got rattled, I had to shift. I had to pivot. I started YouTube. I changed my life. You can too. I show up every single day to prove to you that consistency is king. That it doesn't matter who's smarter than you, more connections than you. If you outwork the competition, you will be in the top 1%, 0.1%. I'm in the top 0.1% of earners in the industry, not 1%, 0.1%. You understand? Because I grind so hard every single day. I'm not here to brag. I'm telling you, keep grinding. Don't stop. So we hit the target of the trade. How did you know where the target was? You take the measured move. It's this wick to that wick. It's the algorithmic measured move. This wick to that wick. That is the range that they're going to take the price action. I've learned this. It's exactly where they took it. Exactly to 67.7. It also will coincide with a resistance, possibly a moving average. The more you understand, the more you can coincide. Like, see, when I can understand fibs, support or resistance, stochastics, RSI. When they all align, bang, something's brewing, right? So look, I do this all the time. You see me, the 21 and the 200, the guy does the same thing every single day. You should see my tweet last night. I'm giving away the sauce. And people, look, most traders staring at 10 indicators. But Bitcoin really respects just two lines, the 21 and the 200. If you understand these, the chart starts to make a lot more sense. Only 1,200 people saw this tweet. Only 8 people wrote on it. And this guy, look, it respects this line. See, people say whatever they want. Electric cost. Yeah, I mean, that it does respect that line too. The electric cost. I like that you're sitting there at 66. That's pretty cool. I like that. See, I got some insight from him. I could make see, what's this? I could make a 5-minute video about that. Bang. You know what I mean? Been saying this for years. Clean charts print more money than cluttered ones. 21 to do to tell you everything you need. Trend direction, whether you're in a bull or bear market, that's literally it. It really is. And this is crypto AI. So funny. Price respects real levels. True. Wish I knew that years ago. No, it doesn't. You're retarded. See this? See what people say, man? I've studied this for 20 years. Like, this guy got the sauce and he calls me retarded. This is crypto. This is X-Men. If you don't got a hater, you ain't doing anything right. I don't even know if that's a hater. He's just being stupid. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're going to break down brass tacks. We're going to give you a top-down analysis for Bitcoin. We're going to talk about it. We're not just going to shove our gains in your face. We're going to show you how we did it. We're going to teach you the way. But look, I saw this happening before it happened. This is my model. I go at this every single Tuesday morning, really. If I see this Tuesday morning, I have to trade it. Shout out to anyone who made gains in the trading group, who knew how to trade it because they learned from me. Who traded it so either you learned from me and you traded it, either you're in the Discord, you had no idea, but you got the call and you took the call, or you're just getting started, but you still made money. Put a 333 if you're one of those 3 people. I'd like to know how many people like that are in the group right now. And shout out to Marcus for giving 10 memberships. You consistently give. I don't know how you do it. I always see the UFO coming out the sky there whenever I see you. You're awesome, man. God bless you. Thank you. This guy says, was in before you posted it. Exactly. My best student should have already got in before I even said a word. All right? Every single time. Exactly. Got wrecked yesterday night. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, last night? Yesterday night? Last night, yeah. He's the man, 333. Was in it before you posted, brother, but I learned it from you. See? This is what I want to hear. Yeah. Sam is growing. No more free trades for us freeloaders. I give free trades all the time. The whole weekend I gave free. I gave so many calls for the weekend. Yeah. Knew it there. Thank you, Lifer. Knew how to take the trade. I front run on you. Exactly. My best student should have seen it before I even called it out. 100%. 100%. Got in early. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So there we have it, man. So again, I just want to state my claim. If you join my trading group, last night you would have got a beautiful call. This morning you got a beautiful call that made you gains. All right. Last night did go underwater, but I didn't get stopped out. I'm still in the trade. I'm still in last night's trade. I didn't turn it into a loss. Just kept it small. And I kept it small last night because I was like, we'll see what happens. I did like the daily, and I opened up a week's trade on the daily, if you remember. But look, I got a gold and an oil trade open right now. Oil is down 26. Gold's up 130. I'm betting on the dollar taking a big dump and everything taking a move to the upside. Look, so now we switch to the 5-minute. Now we delete everything, and we switch to the 5-minute time frame. Why? Because we're going to see the same thing that just happened on the 1-minute on the 5. What I'd like to see now, I'd like to raise this. I'd like to see it pump real hard. Then I'd like to see it pull the 21 up with it and get tight here. We might actually get our trade here on the 5. So what I do is once I complete the model on the 1, I sell, and then I wait and complete the model on the 5. If you can get lucky, some days you can do it on the 1, the 5, and the 15, all in conjunction. Sometimes the 5 and the 15 will do it together. You see how the 21's away there? You got to watch that. The 30-minute is above the 200 with the 21. Look, the 30-minute has a giant double bottom. That's a double bottom. It's a W. W's break up 68% of the time. I'm a simple guy. I do exactly what I'm supposed to do. When I see a W, I would trade that with a stop below that low. All these ICT, all these other people say, oh, they raid liquidity. They have 1,000 things in their head, and so they do 100 things. I do the same thing every time. You got to do the same thing every time. If your concept kind of bends your mind too much and then you can't do the same thing every time, then you can't be consistent. Your system has to be able to be repeatable over and over, like Tuesday morning, 100 over the 200, bang, 21 over the 200, bang, bang. You know what I mean? We hit. We don't stop. We don't stop. Shots of ginger. We go. Keep pushing. We don't stop. You know, this is Navy SEAL training right here in trading. Like, we don't stop. This is high level all the way. If you want it as bad as me, then you're here. Either you want it as bad as I do, or you think I'm too intense and you're clicking off. If you think I'm too intense and you're clicking off, you mean you were just, we don't see eye to eye. You're just not as intense as me. And you don't want it as bad as I do. I want to be around the people that are really that go a little hard. That most people are like a little taken aback by. Those are the people I want to hang out with. Look, this is a falling wedge that broke to the upside in Alice in Wonderland. Falling wedge breaks to the upside. This is just slipped the other way. You see? This right here breaking up is the same as this breaking up once you get your mind inside in the meta sense of the charts. See, this breakup is the same as this going down and breaking up. It goes. See how the charts go backwards? It's just very interesting. Anyway, some of you may have seen what I just said. Some of you may, but it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. If you keep coming back, you're going to figure it out. So look, this was kind of like, this is the strangest sauce I've ever seen. You know, if anything, it looks like a bugle. Pretty awkward price action. We were able to extrapolate some data here, though, which was the 1 minute today was above the 200. So I told my students, I said, watch this flag. I said, we may be able to take this scalp. I said, we're above the 200 consolidating. We should get in somewhere either here or here. And you could say, oh, you're just lucky, Sam. And how am I lucky when I show up every day, do the same thing, and the same thing plays out over and over again? And then everyone goes, oh, there's the guy that does the 21, the 200. Oh, that guy's a pain in the butt. You know, people run their mouth, man, about consistency because most people aren't as consistent as you. So if you get very consistent, prepare for a lot of heat. Prepare for people to come at you because every single time you keep showing up, you're telling them that they can't show up and they're going to take it out on you. I get hate on Twitter. I get hate on my comments. I get hated on this show sometimes. I focus on the love, don't get me wrong. But man, when you show up every single day, you really push buttons on people because they just... Then you work 5 days for 5 years straight without a day off. You buy a Lamborghini, they still hate on you. They call you a materialistic fool. They call you, you're never going to heaven. You suck, you know. Why do you care about material things? Because you bought one thing for yourself after never taking a day off. Hate. I tell you what, man, and with the market down, people were in such a nasty mood the last 4 months. I couldn't tell. I never read so many nasty comments in my life in like a 4-month period. You trigger people when you hit greatness. Remember that. The next time you hit big moves, your family, your friends, people are going to start treating you funny, man. You're going to see it. You're going to gravitate towards other people that push at your level because they won't do that to you. They will respect and love you. They want to build with you. They will never treat you that way. The world gets, you know, it's not lonely at the top. It's lonely at the transitional period where you leave from who you were to who you're going to become. Very lonely during that period. Why? Because you alienate a lot of people just by being you. I told you why. They're insecure. They say they want to start your buddy says he's going to be a mechanic. He wants to start a mechanic business. You say you want to start a film company. You start it. You're rocking and rolling. You can't hang out. You don't go to poker nights anymore. You're not at the bar as much. You got too many deadlines. You got things to do. You don't hang out anymore, he says. I never see you. All you care about is money and your business. Because his business is failing. He's hating on you. Because he didn't start his business. He's talking ish on you. And there you go. Now you're hanging out with the wrong energy. If he was your friend before, it was cool when you were cool with hanging out, drinking and playing video games. He was a good friend. She was a good friend. Now you're ready to rock and roll, and that person ain't ready to rock and roll. Your energies have now misaligned. So when you fully become who you plan on becoming, There's going to be a lonely period because you're going to shed your skin. And when you shed your skin, you can't hang out with the same frequency, man, that you were hanging out before. It doesn't mean you're better than those people. You don't put them down, but you are slowly going to gravitate away from them. It just is what it is. All right. This is just a life lesson that's going to happen to you if you go after your dreams. I'm telling you, it happened to me. There's an isolated period. Then you're going to get hated on too. Like, I have a friend that I know that I went to college with that he said, when are you going to stop buying outdated Raris? You know what I mean? Like, I don't own a Rari, but like, you know what I'm saying? It just, and I take that almost as a compliment because if I never made it, no one would be hating on me. You see what I'm saying? So just, you know, and then again, how I revert to this is I say there's so many people that love me. They don't want to hear about the hate. They want to hear about the love. You guys want to hear about the love, the support that you're giving me all the time. And that's what I focus on. I really do. Key. So anyway, let's take a look at the monthly candle. The monthly candle is flipped back to green. It closes tonight at 8 p.m. I will be live tonight for the monthly candle close, probably just a half an hour. I don't go crazy on the monthly close, but I will be live. We might see a live trade. We might scalp. Anything can happen. Put that in your calendar. Sam Price is live tonight at 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. Get ready. This is one of the old outfits I used to wear. I don't even remember this, checkered with the gray and the blue. I used to wear this. Like, I love this. Inspired by Tucker Carlson. So we have this monthly candle close right here. All right. If it can close green, we have a chance. It's not an amazing green candle. It's actually, even if it closes green, it's got a big, it's a to me, a bearish pin bar. It's not amazing by any means, but there's a couple things we have to talk about. We had a resistance right here. This candle closed at 64,630, and we came and we tested. We wicked, but we closed back above, you know, and you got your chance to get a $59,000 Bitcoin, 60K Bitcoin. That might have been the last chance to buy. I mean, you know, I know that we should do the whole retracement, but if you just do this impulse, you came right to the 786. It's telling you it's a possible buy. Am I still in the monthly trade? I am. Isn't that crazy? I'm still in that monthly trade. 2,000 for 20,000. You know, I've never done it before. It's underwater. It's been open for 3 weeks now. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? It will just get taken out, or it could be the one that wins. You never know. 1 minute dumping now pretty hard on some bear div. And we just went from 67.6 to 67.3, 66 in the small time frames. I just want to get done with my top down. If you're new to the channel, every day I do a top down analysis from about 10:15 to like 10:45, sometimes till 11. And we break down Bitcoin from the monthly all the way back to like a 1 minute chart. Show you the succession of Bitcoin. What levels are mattering on the big time frames, what levels matter on the small, how they coincide and how they mesh together, how the time frames really bring the beginning time frames into the end time frames, how they mix from the monthly all the way back down. The macro to the micro to the macro, you will learn so much. It will blow your mind. Should I protect this position now, down $10 and move on? Wait for a better entry. Let's take a look. A little far for the 21 in some of these. I'm not risking a lot on this trade. It was a very small trade. It's one of the smallest trades I've made in a long time, a $20,000 position. You know, it's a fifth of what I would normally feel like anything from. Like $100,000. If it's not a $100,000 position, I'm pretty, yeah, that's not true though. Some $50,000, you know, about 50,000 and I'm like, I'm in it. Any lower, it's like, it's too small to change my life, but I am grateful for every piece that I get. So it doesn't really matter if it's not substantial. It's really about the energy. Did you put in and get out? If you put in $10, you got out 20, that's good energy. And then you can use that energy to create better energy. So to me, it's not about the value too. It's about the energy. If you focus on energy more than the value, you'll eventually get richer than everybody, man. If you focus on money all the time, you won't be putting your energy in the right place and you won't have high frequency. You'll have money frequency, which can bring you money, but high frequency brings more money. You see what I'm saying? Manifest yourself on the right frequency. That's key from the very beginning. Very similar to a ship. I know this is going to be scary because it can make you feel a bit insecure, but it's very similar to a ship. The ship is at, 180 degrees. You shift it to 182 degrees. It's ending up at Sri Lanka instead of the coast of Africa. You know what I mean? It changes that tiny, tiny degree when you shift the ship. And then you let it go for 3 weeks at a time. It's going to be in a completely different area, right? That's crazy, right? That's how subtle your manifestation in your mind is. If you really shift your mind to say, no, this is where I'm going to be in a year. There's no other way. All right? But if you let your mind just do whatever, you're going to end up wherever. Your mind has so much control over where you're going to end up. I watch YouTubers. I saw people doing YouTube. I saw people doing, I worked for David Letterman. I worked for a talk show host. I saw talk show hosts. I said, man, I kind of like that. I like the voice. I like the idea. They dress nice. You can see I got influenced by my job. I was working for David Letterman. So I told myself I should become a David Letterman. I should have a suit and a mic in front of me, and I should talk, and I should have a cool radio voice, and I should bring, you know what I mean? And I should bring the energy. So I saw something. It inspired me. I emulated it. I went after that, right? So like I saw this in my mind before you even watched the stream. We emulate, we create, all right? Very important. Back to the monthly. So sorry to get off of the TA, but this is about mentality. This show is about making somebody greater than they were with all the facets of life. Subconscious mind, financials, your health. If I wasn't hurt right now, I'd be doing my weekly exercises for everybody. And I think I'm going to go to the gym today. Today's like the first day I feel ready to go to the gym. I'm going to walk to the gym. I'm going to hit the gym, man. I'm going to do it. You know, I said last night, I said I'm ready, bro. I think I'm ready for the gym. 2-week chart. Let's take a look. It's holding a beautiful support. Resistance, 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 resistance. 4 2-week candles. That's 8 weeks of resistance coming strong right here. Saying, hey, you know, I know you want to dump on us, but... And we got this falling wedge here. That, to me, could break to the upside. Falling wedges do break to the upside. And then when you pull your temporary fib, you've wicked off of the 786 Fibonacci. I still get mixed signals all the time because I know in 1 second the war could heat up. Oil could spike and Bitcoin will rip down. Like in 2 seconds, there could be a massive change in the news. And that could change, you know, but I still trade my TA. I just, like today, it didn't, just because I knew the news could change, did I not trade my trading style? I still traded my trading style today. I didn't switch up how I trade. I kept it the same. 68,000 looks likely here for Bitcoin. As you can see, there's some major red, big red there waiting. Seems like they may be pulling down to induce shorts just to get it to rip back to the upside. But we'll see. The 1 minute gave back a lot of that pump. Is a good thing that I took that trade off the table there. And now I can barely lose anything. So I turned what would have been this morning's loss into like a $250 loss and do up $300, and then we'll go from there. I'm pretty excited. And I do things I never could do before. You will too. You can trade through. You can trade through a loss. Before, a loss might hesitate me. Now that was just, because I traded my model, the model didn't hit. I logically taken the loss. I don't get emotional about it. I say, hey, that was just a probability that didn't play out. Let me take the next probability. 1 minute really giving back everything it just made from 67.7 all the way back to 67.85. 67.185. We're going to see if this 5 minute time frame can bounce off the 200 moving average. You've been seeing this a lot on my channel, especially between 10 and 2. You can see the bounces off the 200. This could make a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and dump. It could get tight. If it gets tight, we take the long. If it makes a right shoulder, we might take the short or just wait for a better long. The 5 minutes going to tell me exactly what to do. I'm going to listen to the technical analysis. I'm not going to have a bias. I'm not telling myself what's going to happen. I'm open. In the next 10 minutes, we can make a right shoulder and dump. We could go up, make a flag and pump. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to let price action tell me. Price action has a really good way of telling you whether it's going to continue or reverse based on the pattern at hand. Look, today it came down, and at this dump, you would have looked for what's called a reversal pattern, which is an inverted head and shoulder. It actually is a kind of complex inverted. It got the inverted head and shoulder. It broke to the upside. It made a flag. This is an ascending triangle. Look, there are known 50-50s, but when you get a move up and you have a higher low, you think, okay, the ascending triangle would make the measured move. You take the level here, you put it, and you pump. Now you can see shoulder, head, possible right shoulder. Maybe you just continue to dump all the way and you're in some type of rising wedge, That's unlikely. This looks like you'll wick back above, but you don't know. Price action has been so crazy recently, and I've been very protective of my scalps. Like this scalp is almost like not worth holding anymore. I'm like, I don't need to lose any money on it. I'm going to put my stop like right there. Let them wick me out. I don't care. I'll get in right here once we have consolidation. We should be bouncing off this 200 moving average in the 5 minute time frame. I had guts to put my stop loss right here. We should get a bounce right here. We'll see. Nothing is guaranteed in trading, even if it's happened 1,000 times out of 1,200. It's a probability, but... So back to the 2-week chart. 2-week chart is digging in. Previous resistance is support. If we close below this, we're going to drastically move to 58,000. You can see. And even lower. We could make 60K. We'll definitely move pretty quick to 60. and then to 54,000. We take a look at the weekly. The weekly, to me, could be putting in a double bottom, but it could also be doing something interesting here. Look, when you flatten it out, it's got almost a descending triangle vibe on the weekly. Look at this. If I see a red candle start to hang here, a bearish retest, it could be a beautiful short. In the next 2 to 3 weeks, the war could rip. There could be a nuke. Something could happen, and boom, Bitcoin will drop to 44,000. The whole markets will crash. Risk-on assets will go crazy. Gold will rip, and then then the fear will leave. Everyone will buy the dip. It'll be a perfect buy opportunity. War like that, and a high, and that will be, to me, will be like one of the greatest purchases for Bitcoin. It'll be a previous resistance there to be $44,000. So I am seeing. So smart, a really conservative person could say, hey, I'm not opening up a long for Bitcoin until it breaks above 73,000 and retest. And then I would ride 73 back to the high, the previous high. Otherwise, we could still be dumping to the downside. So you could say on the macro level, the weekly, I wouldn't long, you know what I mean? Now, I'm going to scalp and have a bunch of fun, but, that's, unless you want to go for a very high risk long. Everything else to me is high risk. So you got a bottom range at 64, you got a top range at 74, right? And you're kind of in the range right now. You've been in between them both. Bottom, top, bottom. You go back to the top of the range. 67,100, Bitcoin struggling to keep the 200 moving average here on the 5-minute time frame. Not amazing. If you're watching that small scalp, you really need to see this bounce here. Otherwise, we kind of just gave up the whole move. That's why I sell scalps quickly, because they're usually short squeezes. So what do we define right now? We define that this could possibly be making a descending triangle on the weekly. Something you definitely have to pay attention to. That has a measured move, the base of the descending triangle. It takes it down to 44,000. Is that going to happen for short? No, I'm not saying that's guaranteed. Do you open up a short right now? I would not. Some people might. I'm giving you the data. It's up to you how you want to play the data. All right? I show you how I play the data. But you're not me. You might not be able to do the trapeze like I can. You might not be able to figure skate the way I can. You know what I mean? We all have different skills, and we implement them at different times and at different places. All right? Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. The 5-day, not looking amazing, but it's still trying to get that move. Possible cup and handle, right? It's a possible cup and handle here on the 5-day chart. Boom. And the 5-day could rip. 3-day doing the same thing. Possible cup and handle. Creating a tweezer bottom here. Tonight, this will close. On the monthly close, we'll also get a 3-day candle close. You could front run it right now, technically opening along with a stop below the wicks. I like these because you can lose a lot of them. You only need to win like 1 out of 10. I like 3 out of 10. You really only need to win like 2. But if you win 4 out of 10 of these, you're going to be in the money. You see what I'm saying? Because, and especially on the bigger time frames, because the payday will be pretty big. So to me, a long here with a stop below the wick. I'm in this technically because I long the weekly, but the monthly. But I'm in a bigger set compared to this. Bitcoin looks like it could be losing 69,000 soon. I'm about to get stopped out, which is perfectly fine. I'm happy to turn this into a smaller loss. I'm still up on the day now. I turned what would have been a loss into a win, and now I can just sit, reestablish my capital, rework the day, and do whatever. Not every day you have to trade. You don't have, if you made $5,000 yesterday, why do you have to force trades today? You do not have to force yourself to trade. All right, I see some people that are obsessed with trading. They're in and out. They're in the shorts. They're in longs. There's like 5,000 positions open. For me, that's, I got 3 kids. I like to really keep my mind clear. Doesn't work for me. I own other businesses. I own a real estate business. I own my internet company, right? I'm a live streamer. I'm a trader. I have like 5 businesses, technically, inside of one, and I do a lot. So I need everything to be streamlined and clean. I can't have 1,000 positions open at 1,000 times running all the way. If I did, I wouldn't be able to run my other businesses either. So, you want to ask yourself, what can you handle? What can your mental capacity handle? You want to work with that. You won't know that until you overload, and then you kind of find out where you sit. No bounce, right? So 3-day chart. So there's your bullish scenarios on the bigger time frames that we could be making this higher low cup and handle. Your bearish scenarios are like, the 3-day was in a rising wedge. You bearishly retested it, and you're headed to the bottom here. Like, this is just the beginning of a dump all the way down to 54,000. And if you get in right here with a stop above here, you're in the money. I can see both things. That's why I'm waiting for confirmation on smaller time frames, because I see too many mixed signals. Last night, the daily looked good to me. We closed the daily. I opened up a long I did an update last night, and during the update, I said I'm long. While I was in the update, I was up $100. Then I was up 250 real fast, 350. Then I saw weakness in the smaller time frames. I moved my stop loss to break even. I went to bed. I woke up the next morning. That trade did not, I got stopped out at break even. I was like, you know what? What I said to myself was like, I would love to wake up break even. I said, but what if this thing just launches tonight and I wake up in huge money? And the last few weeks, there's been about, in the last like 3 weeks, there's probably been about 7 nights where I've, maybe even 8 or I think 9 nights where I've gone to sleep and I woke up the next morning very well paid. So I was like, man, maybe this is the one. Damn, man, we're losing 67,000 now, giving back all of the pump. So I went over the bullish and the bearish scenarios. You can see that I can still see how it could go either way. When I finally make my calls, they're like, I'm in the group, I'm looking at it, and I finally say I'm long right now. It's a moment in time that you really like, like I hone in, and then I finally like make the move. With you, done with you. Let's look at the moving averages. I guess I delete them sometimes when I get rid of my other yellow line. And nothing's easy. It's not easy to be a mechanic every morning and deal with all the customers. It's not easy to be a lawyer. It's not easy to be the doctor. That guy had to show up, cut my leg open, and then he had to sew me up. He had to be perfect, man. He couldn't mess up. He couldn't come in and, hey, by the way, man, I got your nerve pretty bad there. It could have been, that's malpractice. Like, he's got a lot of pressure on him, like the doctor. That's why he makes more money. He has a lot more pressure, right? The words are getting to me. I love the song, but I can't. So let's take a look at what's happening here. We seem to come to support. Look, bounce, bounce. Look, bounce, bounce, bounce. Resistance, resistance. Fall through, come for the bounce. Bounce. So we've had a lot of support at 65.8. Right? 65.5 area. I got to be honest, man. It looks like you tried to break out, but now you made a rounded, the 4 hour looks so bearish. I feel like you were in a bear flag. This is what I really feel like happened, as insane as it was. You got a bear flag. You faked the bear flag. You got back inside. You faked the breakout. You came back inside the bear flag. You faked the breakout. You're back inside the bear flag again. 21 on the 200. The curve on that is interesting, but it tells me that this is still just a bear flag. If you take away all the bells and whistles here and use my my highlighter, and we just highlight away all this stuff, I mean, it looks like a bear flag to me that wants to dump further down. Then we readjust this angle because the angle is like this. Like that, and it tells you, yeah, you're headed somewhere down at 63,600. Hard to tell right now, I'll be honest. And now we got liquidity building below us at 65.5 again. 68 still says I'm big red, though. And this is kind of where we sit. What an interesting time to be alive, right? Looks bearish to me. Looks like it's losing this trend. You say, but this is the new trend, Sam. I mean, look at price action. Like, make sense of that. That's like news and oil and it's just back in. I mean, it's. What I like is I can be confused. I cannot know what's happening. I can still make money. You understand? That doesn't make any sense, right? Because I can wake up in the morning and be like, I have no idea where Bitcoin's going. I was like, you know what? I'll trade the 1 minute on the 21 though. So once you have a system and a strategy, you don't really care where Bitcoin's going. You just kind of, Now there's other days where I see it and I'm like, oh, I know exactly where it's going. The daily, look, everything's more aligned. So you have to understand, no trading days are the same. You get something different every day. That's why I love what I do. I'm a consistent person that gets to do something different every day. I mean, you find that's a dream come true, right? So, but I still want to give you guys the right direction. Is it long or short? What's the deal? Do we miss up on one of the biggest, I mean, when I just look at price action here, like it made a head and shoulder, it made a descending triangle, then it made a bear flag. Like, this is just insanity. 15-minute loss to 200 moving average. You wanted to kind of see that stay. 66.5. So we've been dumping. And we lost the 200 moving average. It was a bear div here, but we lost the 200 on the 1 minute. Funny, man. They're like really pushing the limits for everybody here. I don't care who you watch as an analyst. If you watch me, great. I am. Most of you watch me. But even if you watch another guy, if he's not saying he's not sure, you know what I mean? If he's not saying, hey, it could go either way, like it's like, because my strategy is pretty cool. It's pretty fine-tuned. Like I've nailed it. I've done it consistently for years. Like I know it works. It worked today. I was able to make money out of the market again today. Like it worked yesterday. It's working a lot. Interesting. I mean, what I see there is a head and shoulder, don't you? I see a head and shoulder pattern. Hard to see, but that's what I see. I like it to be nice and neat. And lately it's been difficult to put it in a cookie cutter position. I mean, if the daily closes red here, I believe we should short it. I could see it go either way. For me, I'm buying Bitcoin. I bought $5,000 worth of Bitcoin yesterday on the live stream. All right, so I'm accumulating more BTC. But yeah, I see this as a fallback, a bearish retest, trying to get back inside the pattern. And so you'd have to say that this will fall out the bear flag, right? Measured move 61,369, just the base of this, and then the bigger measured move would be the length of the pole. That's a nasty drop. So everyone wants to know, are we going to 44,000? What's happening for Bitcoin? Do we enter a short right now to take advantage of it? I mean, there's a bearish retest right there. 4 hour looks like it's rolling over too as well. Like it barely retested its trend line, see? And to me, that's a bear flag. That's just a bear flag that wants to dump to the downside. Dang, man, I could see it go either way, but right now I'm leaning real bear. Like, I don't know what else to, what is that? And it's an M pattern right there. Should open a short immediately. It's weird, man. I could see it's. So right now, when I really analyze it, bear flag, right? But look, curving 21. Always gets me kind of. It looks like a shoulder ahead of right shoulder yet again. 1 hour looks bearish to me too. And you got kind of this kind of has a descending triangle vibration there. I see a descending triangle now. I got some sense. It got to make sense to me. I got to see it. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be a real pattern that makes sense or I can't trade it. So what I'm seeing right now is a short. My subconscious mind is building the idea that we're to go short, right? 2.5 risk score ratio, not the best because I want to put my stop above the 200. I don't love the risk here. If it were to bounce to the top of the pattern and give us another entry somewhere up, I'll show you somewhere right there at 67.4, that would be that $200 would change the risk hugely. It would turn into a 7-to-1 instead of a 2.5. So right now I see short. I would not long unless Bitcoin gets back above the 1 hour 200 moving average. You know what I'm saying? And even then it looks like it could end up in chop. So yeah, I'm short right now on my prediction for the day, or at least sideways for the next few hours. Intraday trading looks like you're gonna do something like this and then roll over. You got to get back above that resistance. You got resistance by the 200. You got resistance at 67K. 68.9 now. So you got to get back above 66.9. Sorry, 66.9, not 68. 68.8. You got to get back above $66,800, 67,000. Otherwise, this looks like it's going to roll over. I see a descending triangle. There's your flat line. There's your flat bottom. Flip it upside down, and I can see it. I can see it. And it does look like it's going to break out. I mean, that's the model on the 1 hour. So it tells us that we could get in here with a stop below here. It actually says you could enter the short right now, technically. So right now, after that took me an hour. It took me an hour, and I talked about other stuff. So it took me, let's say, 35 to 40 minutes until my brain was able to see a formation that I felt comfortable with. And it could easily rip back to the upside. I understand the 1 minute would reclaim the 200 moving average. The 5 minute would do the same. Remember, I had my trap set. Had the 1 minute crossed and we had made a flag, it would have looked just like the 1 minute earlier today, and we would have been able to trade it. So you're not wrong. My system will tell you basically when the best time to get in is, and you'll watch. And it will be like for instance, this is what I do. I would have projected the 5. Price, if it was bullish, price would have bounced off the 200. It would have negated a head and shoulder. We got right here. And here I still wouldn't have traded it. When we got right to there, that's when I would have entered when the 21 hit. I've still seen stop hunts, but for the most part, that's a continuation. So I wait for the perfect time to enter. I studied this. That's why a lot of times if you see me on the channel, I'll get in and I'll never see red. Like the second I get in, the trade will go up. And it happened to be, I've done it thousands of times now where I get in and the trade keeps going up. So I've solidified that I'm pretty good at being able to find that bottom, Now, what if Bitcoin rips back to the upside? We will find out, won't we, folks? But this is what we're looking at here. What we desire to see now is some bounce chop, stay inside here, and then we roll over maybe at, it could be 9 tonight. It could be, we don't know exactly. It might chop for a day. But what I did see now is I see the model on the 1 hour upside down. I see a bit of an ascending triangle beginning to form. So I made sense. I was able to figure it out. At first, I couldn't figure it out. I see it now. I see the pattern. I see what they're doing. And it looks short to me until further notice. I'm not in a short or a long right now. I'm in observation. Yeah. If you study the best places to get in and you in thousands of times you hit the best place, then why would you get in if it wasn't the best place, right? So that. Because the 200 and the 21 are where I like them, though, it does suggest that we could get a move. So, only time will tell, folks. Only time will tell. All right. But that's, now I have an idea. And at least I have a plan for what could happen later on today. So far, getting a nice bounce from 66.5. And watch out for the volatility. Let's look at the miraculous idea is this is some type of Bart Simpson and we go sideways and we rip right back to the upside. Again, what would happen is we'll cross the 200, the 20 will come and I'll catch that long. My system will help me catch the longs. Understand? Like right now that I see us pumping, we're probably getting back above the 1 minute 200 or getting close to it. When we're reversing. Could it be a bear flag? It very well could be. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. Not looking amazing, 3-day chart wants to bounce back. 5-day chart, look at a bounce. And there's patterns inside of patterns. Of course there are, because there's macro worlds inside of, just in the real world. There's a macro inside the micro. Right? There's an anthill in your giant lawn. There's a little world inside of a big world all the time. Trading is exactly the same. Trading mirrors the world. You're going to have macro and micro and macro, the metaphysical. It's all the same. See, trading taught me how the universe works. Trading taught me how the law of infinity, how there's always something smaller than you, but always something bigger than you, almost down to infinity. I don't know when the last atom ends. We keep going into microscopic. When does microscopic end? When does the last atom get so small there's nothing behind it? In my mind, it's infinity, right? There has to be a particle so small that's the last ending particle. But isn't that particle made of particles? And isn't that particle made of particles? I guess we have, and I'll ask the crowd, have we defined the last remaining particle ever? When we break things down to their last final pieces, do we know where that particle is? All right. The gold ain't lying. Talk yourself, Sammy. Thank you. Yes, I understand that the news changing and flip-flopping is changing the direction of price every 1 hour, but the latest news will determine direction for a week. Definitely won't be new news in 1 hour. That's not true. I disagree with that. Yeah. I completely disagree with that statement, John Don. I love you, though. We don't have to always agree. It's great. If you agree with everything someone says, then, your friends and you should have different opinions. Oh, we got Ricky Bobby. Took a short when I see the 21 crossing the 200 of the 30-minute. Got wrecked with high leverage. Lost 8K. Why was I wrong? You don't buy when it crosses. Also, why were you risking $8,000? Why did you lose more money than me? You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe you're worth millions, so 8K is nothing to you, but 8K is a big loss for me. If you see my channel, I think the biggest loss I've ever taken was like a 10K loss or something. Like when I went super hard, remember, on like, so like I don't take big losses, man. I really don't. I'd rather go sideways and wait and wait and wait. So I'm upset that you took a big loss like that. I don't know why you went that hard. Took a short when I see the 21 crossing on the 30-minute. So let's go look at the 30-minute. Let's just clear my chart for a second and see what you're saying. It sounds like you're going a little, for my liking, it sounds like you're going a little hard. You should not be losing $8,000 unless you have so much money that was your stop loss. Like you have 100 mil and 8K is whatever to you. To me, like, I don't know. I don't want to say what my net worth is, but it's like, you know, I don't know. Like, if I was worth $50 million, 8K would still bother me, bro. Even though I know it's not that much money compared to my net worth, it would bother me. I don't want to lose $8,000. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the point, right? So I'm a little upset that I felt like you over-risked a little bit, but it's all right. It's all right. It is what it is. But I want to look at what you did there. I'd like to know when you did it and how you did it. Like down to the actual. Look at this nice bounce on the 1 hour. Look, they're wrecking the shorts right back to 67,000. Man, they just be careful today, man. Trade. Look, I traded the model. I got in, I got out. How swift, right? They sniped that other trade on me. That's okay. Okay. I'm not down on the day, see? I protected my capital. I didn't get wrecked, man. I didn't lose 8K. I'll tell you that, right? I don't do that stuff. All right, so let's go back. Oh, yeah, so I want to go to the 30-minute. So, I mean, right there when the 30-minute, the last big cross was right there. I don't know if you had opened the short and put your stop up here, you would have made tons of money. So I don't know what you did. Right there, it did not cross. So, or maybe it was about to cross. You know what I mean? But like technically it really didn't. So maybe you did this here, you did this right when it crossed, you shorted. We don't trade the cross. You know what I mean? You can, but I don't, because I've learned that that's treachery, right? What I trade is what would have to have happened. And you see me do this every day, but I'll reiterate it. I say this every single day. So say I saw this happening. You flip it upside down and you'd say, okay, if the 21 crosses the 200, I'd like to see price create a bear flag. I'd like to see the 21 come into the flag and hang out with it. Then I will open up the short. I do not short on the cross. Understand? I short on the consolidation with the 21 above the cross. So you see? So therefore you would have waited for this. When the confirmation hit, you would have traded it. You didn't wait. You might have just went the second that cross and you got absolutely rocked. You also over-risked. I'm very sorry, Ricky. Please, I have to ask you right now in front of everyone, man, why? Maybe you're worth way more than I thought. You've been very nice. You've given me $400, so. But why did you over-risk, man? Yeah. Why are you losing 8K in a night? And again, you could say, hey, Sam, I can handle it. I have that much money. You know, I can handle that. But I just, to me, doesn't make sense. You know, so I would go back to the drawing board and say, how much did I have? Why am I risking this much? You know? So. He saw CryptoFace tweet long screenshot and aped his life savings. We run in 2008 back 6 months. Red candle confirms today, baby. We run in 2018 back 6 months. Red candle confirms today. Yeah. He heard about Orangey and Meme Scope Monday. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. If you want to trade where we trade, we have a pinned comment. with Weeks, MEXC, and BTCC. All right. Those are where I've been trading a lot lately. They've been treating me right. They've got good customer service, good plans, good people. And so that's what I does, man. So yeah, my man, we're just going over the fact my man said why, so now this short would have been epic. Now this was an W, an M pattern, see, on a bigger time frame. And that had a measured move to here. So then you might have been able to trade the cross without waiting. But had you waited, you would have got in right there and taken a beat. We did that. We traded that. We did a good job, right? Shorts, baby. Short. Oh, I didn't. Did I take that short? Took that short. Again, the same thing here. The 21 consolidates below the 200. Take the short. And I'm looking for Ricky. 8K fun coupons. I know. Didn't have a stop loss. Oh no. Revenge trade, emotions. Sorry to hear that. So yeah, so you didn't use a stop loss? No. Yeah. Stay afloat, don't get washed out. Exactly. If I have 50 grand in the account, maybe I make 6 grand, maybe I make, and then at the end of the month I might have 56 grand, 58 grand, but at least I'm not wrecked. And people say, oh, but you only made 6 grand. What are you talking about? That's huge compared to how much I used to make a month. People are forgetting where they used to be. Like just 7 years ago, man, I was working a night shift. 6 years ago, 8 years ago, I was working a night shift. Yeah, we talked about River yesterday, remember? We went over River. Let's take a look at River for a second. I said River might be the only thing worth trading recently. It has been good to the 99. You guys have been ripping it. Nice little pump to the upside. I'm looking for consolidation, though, for River. On a bigger time frame. Remember, we were watching it on the daily. I want to see it consolidate in this nose, and I could see River ripping back up to $800. It really could. BTC rejected the 21 of the 1 hour. And honestly, I see people doing this, and then they can't be in the trading group anymore because they can't pay $99 a month, and then they can't get the proper education. Then years from now, they join my. I know people that do this. They join my group. They get ready to go. They don't listen to me. They get wrecked. They go crazy. Okay? And bang. Next thing you know, they can't be in the trading group. 2 years later, they write me an email. They join the group. They're more disciplined, and they're back in their group. But it's been 2 years at this point. And they could have learned so much. So, the key is this is a university I'd like you to stay in, my Discord. It does cost money, just like every university. I went to St. John's. One college credit cost me $1,500. One. That's one class. In one semester. Maybe it was like $2 grand. You know what I mean? So I'm giving you less than that. If you pay for the, when I do it on the Cyber Monday, it's like $700 a year. It's even less than that, really. So it's less than $3 a day. And I'm giving you, today, I showed everyone how to trade the markets beautifully. I woke up this morning. We executed. We hit it. I have a system in place that I've studied for years. I've back tested it for thousands and thousands of days. I've showed it live now for thousands of days. People know my system. People could steal my strategies. I've given everything away, man. I could have hit it all, packaged it up, only shown my winning trades, and then sold the packages to people. I never did that, man. I didn't use the model that everyone else uses. That's the model everyone else uses. I'm being honest. I was one of the really most honest people here on YouTube, and I still get hated on half the time and get called all sorts of crazy stuff. But my system is so stone cold, people know what I do around the world. They're like, oh, that's the guy with the 21-200 strat. People know what I do, man, because I'm so consistent with it. I broadcasted it to the world for thousands of days. You know what I'm saying? So if you join the Discord, you're getting thousands of hours of back-tested data presented to you every couple of hours. Every time I post a chart, it's not just some random numbers. I truly believe in what I'm doing. I back what I do. So let's get back to brass tacks here for Bitcoin. We saw that we're inside of this tight channel on the 5-minute time frame, a symmetrical triangle. This could break out. I could still see it going either way, folks. That's why I didn't open up that short. Look, you would have got wrecked. Someone that just chased that dump at 66.2 just got wrecked. We just up $1,000. I don't trade this area here. Now we're back above the 200 moving average. That gets me a little okay. I start thinking again. And tonight, you might see me open up a long on the daily and flip long and say, oh, because we got back above a key level. I tell you, the 1 hour gets back above the 200 moving average, I change. I'm not as bearish anymore. So right now I got no trade on. I'm just kind of in observance. 5 minute coming back above the 200. Amazing to see this again. So look, I do this again. I'm relentless. I now set up again for the model. I can already see it happening before it happens. That's what I love about the model too, is I can set up the trades before the trade even exists. That way I can take the trade when the trade presents itself. How are you going to take a trade of the 1 minute if you don't even know what you're going to do first? And then you only have a couple minutes. And that's why people freak out on the 1 minute, because it's emotional, because they don't have a plan. If you have a plan on the 1 minute, you don't act emotional. Look, I already planned out my 1 minute. I just need 10 minutes of time. The 1 minute's slow to me. I trade the 1 second. You know what I'm saying? So that take profit would be 68,102. That stop loss would be 66,912. I like that. After today's day, 300 for 13 would be a nice take. I see some support of resistance because we have resistance. And we bounce right there with the 200. And again, this could just all of a sudden start to rip and I won't be able to get into the trade. This could also start to dump and I won't be able to get into the trade. I'm not telling you I know what's going to happen. I'm telling you I've backtested the sequence for thousands of days and I'm just going to take it if it plays out. I'm not a genius. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I'm a simple dude. I actually tend to be the least smartest guy in the room. Like, that's my plan. You know, I want everyone else to be a little smarter than me so I can learn from them and maybe put them to work, man. You know, I'm a motivator. I'm a mover. I'm an accelerator. That's my birth sign. I get things moving. I'm an Aries. I'm a leader. I come up with the plan and I can get it going. But then I need people to really keep pushing, you know. Then I got to hire the right people to keep it going. I know my weaknesses. I have many. Yeah. You know, I also know my strengths. And I said yesterday, you should know your weaknesses. It's hard to know your strengths if you don't know your weaknesses. And then you know what you can work on. Like, my weaknesses are sitting in front of a script and doing a scripted video. I have weakness doing that. Like, that takes a lot of time. I got to conceptualize. But I got to do that for my channel to grow. You know, I would have been at probably 250,000 subs or more had I just done more pre-recorded videos and put in the work. But I just decided I was going to trade all day and not work at content. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I have pressure on me every day if I want to get to a higher level in life. It's up to me. I could just keep trading, do the trading show, but I could look at, like right now, I made no videos about gold, no videos about oil. I didn't, you know, all this stuff, oil and gold, the war. I haven't made one video to catch any of the algorithm here. I've just been trading every day. Would have been smart had I wrote a script about maybe something going on and tied it into trading. I might have sold some discords. I might have brought more people. I'm just, you know what I mean? These are things I have to be working on. I like to be vulnerable in front of you guys. I like to say, hey, I got to work harder. I got to work harder. I got to put in more effort. I got to, you know, and not even smarter. Not even harder. I got to work smarter. I got to conceptualize more. I got to plan more. That's my weakness. I'm saying it out loud. Yeah, I made millions. Yeah, I got 100,000 subscribers going live every day. But I could have done it. I could have done more work. I could have been better. You know? So I think you can always raise the bar on yourself. And I'm not saying I'm not appreciative of my 100K, and I'm very happy. I'm just, you know, I never want to sound like that's being, you know, you're whining, like you're not happy with what you've got. I'm so excited with what happened in my life. But I want to put the fire under my butt and say, hey, you know, so this week I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write a script. I'm going to fine tune it, and I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put it out. You know what I'm saying? I think I should aim for a scripted video every Wednesday and just see if I can get 1 done a week, then 2 done a week, then 3 done a week. The Jim Rohn. Start small, see if you can accomplish the first change. Then you go from there. Right now, if you're just jumping into the channel, we're watching to see. We just got this massive dump and then a short squeeze back to the upside. I sold the top of this local pump. All right. And then I got stopped out on an older trade that was minimal. And now we're sitting here seeing if I can scalp again if we get the bounce inside of this channel. I'd like to see the 21 pull above the 200 and get tight into price action. We have ourselves a possible trade. 68,102, 66,912. I already see the trade before me. I'm not making it right now, but I'm just going to see what it would be. It would be 100,000. Wow, it would be a big boy. It'd be one of my bigger trades finally. 300 for 1,400. It will change because I don't want to get into, that's a real risky, that's a 5-to-1. The riskier you are, the more ratio you'll get. So right now, I don't have confirmation of the 21 touch in price. So what could happen is, this could easily make a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder and just dump in my face easily. But it could get tight inside here and then break back up to 68,000. Now, right now, it's telling you I'm likely going to dump, but you don't know. If in the next this is the 1 minute. So if the next 20 minutes, we get 21-minute candles to bounce and get sideways, we have a trade. If not, we could have a trend line that's, and this could turn into a descending triangle. You see this? Then we know that that 1 hour projection that we're sitting on is actually the one that we should be taking. So see, I'm using the 1 minute to kind of give me a projection idea or entry on the 1 hour. Very interesting. It changes the risk reward. It's now a 4-to-1 with this bounce. To me, if you look at the moving averages, we're on the 21 below the 200. We're supposed to long this. There it is. You see, I actually see the pattern now. You see it. It's actually really apparent what the pattern is. I'm going to show you something now that I just saw. And that's why I sit here with price action. I sit and play. I never know when my subconscious mind is going to click. So I just got to keep giving my subconscious mind the data. Eventually, it will click. And once it clicks, I'm going to be, oh, there it is, right? So I want to go to Bybit. Yeah. So I just, sorry, no, wrong. I don't know why it keeps going to BB. Because I'm a typo artist, right? I mean, I just saw something I hadn't seen before. And I'm like, why didn't I see? It was so obvious to me. I had to flip the chart upside down, and there it is. It's a beautiful ascending triangle. I mean, you can see it now. I see it so clearly. Couldn't see that so clearly before. Not sure why, right? And then it's upside down, so like, wow. Things make so much sense to me this way. The key is not to be getting wrecked here. They're wrecking so many people on gold, oil, Bitcoin. Retail's jumping in. I've never seen, because we got Polymarket, and they start to gamble a little bit. Then they think gambling is trading and trading is gambling. They're trying to skew the reality between trading and gambling. And I'm seeing it all the time now. Polymarket blowing up. Everyone wants to be on Polymarket. It's like, but you're a gambler, man. Well, no, I'm using AI in prediction markets. And maybe, you know what? It's actually turning into some other, I see people that are turning $100,000 a month on prediction markets. They're sitting with a AI bot, telling it to run prediction market sauce. And you know what I mean? It's just, so do we short this right now hard? That has a target to 46,000. That's kind of crazy. Or is this the actual bottom? I tell you what, everyone, I keep buying spot like it's the bottom, but I trade leverage whichever way I see it that day. It makes sense to me. I like that I got some structure here. Wow, back to 67,250. It's pretty awesome. Like, price action, man. So look, it made let me show you. So we made a bull flag. We got, usually you'll touch the 21, but you got pretty dang close to it. But again, I'm not even close to front. When the market gets sketchy, I have to hit my model exact. I can't even give it space, meaning look at this, though. This is starting to play out. It really is. Yeah, 102 should fit. Yeah, I like how C-Mine did it again, and I'm at 110. It's pretty similar. Now, the 21 is crossed. Some could buy right now. I've learned to wait. Now, this could just rip out of nowhere, and I'm going to miss out. That's the problem. Right now, it's like, it could be a nice buy right now. So this is where my system, I think, has a little bit of weakness, but that's if I microscopically fine tune it and like really just narrow down. Like you might have a really good engine, but you just fine tune it and you find like, you know, in fourth gear, it could be a little better. It's a great engine, but in fourth gear, it just could switch a little to fifth, a little quicker, you know, double clutch on that. But so, yeah, speaking of Lambo, but you know, so can you get this move here? Late on that, but. So now I'm starting to see the possibility here. Now I'm starting to get closer to the possible scalp. I can't wait till I don't even trade anymore and I just teach so people realize like I really just love to teach. You know what I mean? I don't know when that will be because I still love to trade. 66, 957, 956. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. I hadn't got a chance to really jump into the chat and talk. We got over 1,000 people here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in and being absolutely amazing people. You're blessed. You're awesome. And you deserve every single thing you get. I love you all. And I'm just excited to be here with each and every one of you. So thank you very much for everyone jumping on in. It means the world to me. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Interesting. Hold on 1 second. There we go. All right, so we're going to see if we can get this move. There's a little bit of bull div there that bounced you off the bottom. Crazy, though. Now you got to get an inverted head and shoulder. We got to stay on this 200 moving average. Very, very important. All right. Very important. Very important. Now, if we get tighter inside of the channel, we'll get it into this bigger picture. Okay. And then I can make another trade here on the live. And we can go for more. Otherwise, that 1 hour is looking bearish as heck. Remember, man, I'm still looking like this 1 hour short is going to play out. That looks the most likely scenario right now. You know, you get your stop above the 200. I mean, I like this. So this tells me that it could happen for sure. Okay. That's kind of what I'm looking for. All right. Shout out to everyone that trades all the exchanges, man. I appreciate that. You people are amazing. Like I just, what an insane life it is on YouTube, man. I just want to say thank you to everyone that supports me in any way, shape, or form, that writes a comment, that leaves a like, that goes to Twitter and says, you know, puts a comment up there. And where are my people? You know, I got all these people on Discord. I got all these people on YouTube. But whenever I post on Twitter, like some days I get like 5 people to write. It's like it gets surrounded by bots that hate. I'm like, don't I have a bunch of followers that love me, man? Like I'll say it's a beautiful day out here. Like, you know, the sun is shining. God is great. And I'll like, people be like, you suck. Like, here you go again with your crap. Like, it's weird, bro. So if you can, join X, man. And like, you know, put some positive comments on there. If you're one of my subscribers and you love us, it would be nice to have like my family showing up, my community really showing up on X. I feel like it doesn't. Like, it's weird. It's like, I guess people hate on X a little bit. It's not the same as YouTube, but we could take over with our positive energy, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, and girls and gals, guys and girls. Bitcoin, not doing the do. Looking like it wants to go further right back to the downside here. And doesn't want to hang, doesn't want to hold, doesn't want to stay into that key level, right? So that's kind of like the stress that I'm looking at. All right, when you look at it. Exactly. Yeah, so now we're looking to see here. So I'm staying, you know, I got to stay kind of short there on the 1 hour time frame. What I'm doing is I'm watching these smaller time frames for confirmation of the short. So now what I want to do is, this is my scalping account. I'll leave this be. And look, our oil and gold trades are starting to move now. All right, this could be the big payday of the day. This is kind of why I'm like right now, like this is like, you know what I mean? Things switch off and, you know, we're up like $200. Not amazing, but I've been in these trades since last night. So we're going to see what happens. But so we got oil and gold. I gave these trades to the trading group. All right. Or you might even see one of them live. It depends on how much you watch me. Okay. So that's what we have cooking right there. And then what I'll do is I'll move over to Bitcoin. And this is on MEXC. I like MEXC, some of the least fees in the game. And we want to look at this here. All right. I want to look. And you can see, I mean, a head and shoulder beginning to fall. It does look like when I really look at it, it looks like you know, I'm really just, it's a bear flag, man. You know, it's the 200 below, the 21's below the 200. And whenever I see that, I mean, that's my signal on the 1 minute. We trade the 1 minute like this all the time. It just might make something like this. I have it kind of formulated into some type of flag. So there's the short. It would take you back to 60K, 59,000, right? I wouldn't try to take it. You know, I like to sell at key areas and then get back in again. You can hold it for days and days and days and days. That's what I'm attempting to do with, you know, bigger time frames, but it's not easy. So like I could put my stop below previous resistance and support at 2.89 risk reward ratio. So this tells me like I should be setting this up. And see, all my trades are predefined trades. Like I want to see it before it happens. Then I want to take it once I get confirmation. So what my mind is doing is it's scanning multiple time frames every day and then fine tuning the smaller time frames. Then it's finding the bigger idea on the bigger time frame. And then it's waiting for the small time frames to tell me when to enter. So all day I'll be like, okay, I'm bearish on this. Now what will happen is the 1 minute could cross the 200 and they go on a massive pump. And then I'll know never to trade the 1 hour short. That's why some days I'll show you a short like this, but then you'll see the next day I went long and you're like, but he was short. But I never was. I was looking for the short, but I got confirmation in the small time frames that told me not to take the short. And I know I know the 1 minute to the 15 so well, more than most people, like way more than I think 90% of the market. And so because I study these smaller time frames, I get confirmations a lot earlier than most. And because I get that, I can trade I can trade on the masses, right? They're waiting, or they might using a signal, or they might probably using a lot of them are using bots too, and a bot's good, but it can't make the move I can make. It can't see the change that I can make. It can't, because it has to trade parameters that it's already been set in. It can't really, if it can make the changes I can make, then it can't trade consistently either, right? So it's like, but because a human has a skill that the bot doesn't, man. We can pivot a little quicker than a bot. We really can. Now, a bot can out-trade us over time, I get it. But at certain times, the bot won't be able to pivot out when a human can. Right? And that's why, I don't know, man, you put all your stuff on bot trading and act like there's nothing you can do. That's just not true. This morning, I made a beautiful trade. I didn't need a bot, man. And I loved it. I executed myself. I felt good about it. Like, I felt proud of the trade because I didn't just press a button like I did it. You know what I'm saying? I watched. I waited. We did discipline. We did it. We were disciplined. We watched. We waited. We did it correctly. So, yeah, I got to say this looks like more bearish than bullish to me. I could also see how the daily could flip. I'm waiting for confirmation on certain areas. That's what I'm doing. That's the key. Right? To me, that's the key. Right? So 66,945 here at 11:30. Getting tighter inside the zone. So look, why do I use the 21 of the 200 so much? Why am I addicted to it? What's the point? Like, why would you do? Like, am I out of my mind? Am I insane? Well, I'll show you a couple things that'll show you. Like, so if you're willing to give me a couple minutes here, and not just click buttons and leave every 5 seconds because you didn't see a live trade, but if you're willing to actually learn something here, hold on for 1 second. Let me show you an uncorrelated asset. Ford Motor Company. All right, not the best chart, but let me show you how you would have traded Ford. You would have waited for Ford to get above a 200. You would have waited for it to consolidate inside with the 21-day moving average. You would have taken the measured move, which could be, in trading, here in the stock market, you want to take the beginning of the pattern. In crypto, you take the big pulls. Pause. That's what you do. 1189. That's what you do now. 1189, right, to the upside. Again, we find a flag, an ascending triangle. We see price action getting tight with the moving averages. We see the 21 above the 200. We enter. We put our stop. When we enter, we put our stop below the previous low. So when I enter here, my stop loss is here. When I enter here, my stop loss is here. You see? If I enter here, my stop loss is like somewhere below here. Look, it did it every time. It made an ascending triangle with the 200, with the 21 and the 200 either wrapped tight or the 21 above, and you got a breakout. And when you lose the 200, you get the dump to the downside, right? Then you get the bear flag. It's the exact same way. When you go to the 15-minute, you can flip this upside down. And you can say, when do you enter the long? At the same time you enter the short. When you're in the ascending triangle, look at this. When the 21 touches and when you cross the 200 moving average, boom. Right here. Look, we're upside down though. So I just gave you Ford Motor Company. It doesn't matter. We could do Japanese yen and New Zealand dollar. Is it NZD, right? Look at this. Say you're trading the Japanese yen. Look, today, my system right there on the 15th. You would have drawn an ascending triangle. It's nuts. You would have got into the 200 when you're above. It doesn't. You could trade anything. It doesn't matter, man. I'm giving you guys sauce that it's what I'm teaching you. You could use throughout. Look, there it is again. I just showed you Ford Motor Company in Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar. Completely different assets. Not even close. Doing the exact same thing. Making ascending triangles above the 200 with the 21 touching. Why trade anything else? Look, tight moving averages. There's the move. There it is again. All right. Here it is again. Like I didn't have this prepared today. You say, well, why didn't this happen? You say the daily could have been overbought at this point, and you had a major resistance. You got to use support or resistance. Look, bang. Resistance, resistance. Again, I take this and get stopped out. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that because you hit all the other ones, so who cares about getting stopped out there? But there are some key instances where you'll find out there was a reason. Maybe the daily was overbought there. Here, the daily could have been oversold. Not saying it's perfect. I'm just showing you it's how price action works on every time frame. So my system is not my system. I basically discovered how everything works, and I trade that. Doesn't mean I'm right every time. Doesn't mean I hit every single trade. But what it does is it gives me like a system to go on, and I know I'm not using emotions when I make my trades. And because I know I'm not using emotions, I have a consistent basis to trust. And because I have a consistent basis to trust, I can keep trading over and over and over again with confidence, without fear, without stress, and I know what I'm doing, right? And so this changed everything for me, okay? And very, very important. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's very, very nice of you. And everything's fixed, packed with the studio today. We have the same amount of people that say they're here that were there. Yesterday got thrown off. We don't know why. And we should just keep growing, man. We keep giving you guys live trades that play out. We keep showing you real price action. I back test everything I show you. I prove why it works every day I'm here. I go over it time and time again. I don't shy away from trades. I don't back away from losses or wins. I am so transparent. It's ridiculous. You're going to learn if you show up every day with me. The only reason people leave this channel is because they can't handle it. Like they give up on themselves. I really believe that. Like if you're not ready to give up, if you're ready to keep pushing, this is the channel for you. If you don't want to take no for an answer, if you know you're destined for greatness, this is the channel for you. If you believe you can make $1 billion in this life, who believes they can make $1 billion in this life? And again, it's not about money, but just, do you believe you can hit these highs? Who believes they could possibly make $1 billion? Put a 444 if you believe you can make $1 billion in this life. TN Tesla, please. I got stops below 333, but I don't like that we lost the daily 200. I'll take a look at that. Thank you for the 777s there. Shout out to TV Anderson. And thank you so much. Yeah, we sent in a super chat to go over Tesla. I like that. Put a 444 if you believe you can make $1 million in this life. I do. I'm going to put a 444. I believe I can hit, $1 billion. $1 billion in this life. I believe I can hit $1 billion, man. Why not? Why? Yeah. Some people say, no, I'm not making, and they laugh. Your dream should be so big they make you laugh, man. The guy that made $1 billion is the guy that said he could and laughed at himself when he first said it. He said, that's not realistic. But then he said, no, it is realistic. Every billionaire probably when they first said I'm going to make $1 billion didn't almost believe it. But then they kept pushing and they kept saying, no, wait, I can't give up on that dream. You have to believe a big dream is possible to accomplish it. You can't shy away from big things, baby. Yeah. I do when they're printing like no to my eggs. I mean, you'll be worth 100 mil when you're a billionaire at that point, but hey. I don't want a billion. I just want I feel you. Back then when I started trading, I said I don't even want my own home. I just wanted to get rid of my boss, man. I started trading because I had a boss that was mean to me, calling me into her office, browbeating me, making me feel small when I was 30 years old. I had a wife and kid, and she's treating me like a 5-year-old, No offense, you know what I mean? I don't care what you're doing, but, she's sitting there with her girlfriend, and she's treating me like a piece of garbage every day at work. I couldn't believe it, man. And no offense, if that's your thing. I'm just telling you the truth, right? And so I was just like, man, I'm all set. I won't say her last name, but her name was Sandra, man, and I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. She was mentally abusive to me. Mentally abusive, man. Someone must have abused her because she was horrible. And I knew at that point that it was my fault. I went home and realized my boss was treating me. I was like, man, I put myself in position to get treated bad because I didn't start my own thing, because I didn't go after my own dreams, because I decided to sit, drink, do drugs and just kind of let my life and now I'm at a job where someone's putting me down. It's my fault. If you come home from work and complain about your boss, man, that's on you. Go put yourself in a different position. Get away from that negative person. You see what I'm saying? We're all in where we are because of ourselves. The second we start blaming other people, we can't change our situation because what? It's not our fault anymore. If you're fat and you blame other people for being fat, then you can't get jacked. But if you say, I'm the reason I'm fat, then you're the reason you can get strong too then, can't you? Aha. Yes. See, when I put it in that way, it seems perfect. When I talk about it conceptually, people don't get it. Look, that looks like it's falling off. A symmetrical triangle that wants to break. See how it's shoulder, head, and shouldery? I don't trade this unless it consolidates. See, I know the confirmation that I'm waiting for. I'm not flip-flopping here. This bounces and gets tight, then I take the trade. You'll see it if it happens. A lot of my stream now is waiting for confirmation because we want to make sure we're executing at the proper place. 21-day moving average. Bounces are key. This is not over yet. This could actually still maintain a win here. I did change that stop. It's not the same. Wait, how is that a 5-1? Where am I going? 66, 179, 68, 179. Now, if I were to see when it looks like it's going to dump and you take the trade, it's a 9-1. Like, that's 100 for $900. I did that the other day. If you remember, I did 100. Remember, I lost one trade for 270, one trade for 150. It was just Sunday night. Then I took the trade anyway and went to bed. 150 for 900. I ended up making 970 bucks on that trade. I only risked $100. It was amazing. So it was a 10-1 trade that cleaned up my losses for the day before. The other trades were 3-1s. I don't know, and I don't always catch the 9-1. You got to be. It's a very risky. Like, to get in right now is very risky. I'd rather do 300 for 1,000 and make it less risky. You see, and it depends on the day. Today has been kind of sketchy already. You can just feel price action hasn't been perfect. We had a huge pump. We got a massive dump back. We got a rip back up. We can just see what happened today. They dumped price last night, went sideways, got it above the 200. I saw my signal. They ripped price back to the upside. They dumped it back and went after the late longs. That's what they did, right? Then they dumped it up and went after the late shorts. Kind of feels like they're going to go after the late longs again now. You know what I mean? No, then they dumped it and went after the late longs, then after the late shorts. Now they're sideways. Now they're going to go after the longs again down here. I mean, that's what they've been doing, just kind of going after it. The thing is to learn is work to pay the bills now. Invest the rest to pay the bills for the future. Freedom from financial burden is what it's all about. It takes effort though, to build steadily. Anyone can do it. Anyone can build financial freedom. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. I did it. So I know how to do it. Like, I know how to take a small amount of money and turn it into more money. And again, I'm not just a trader. Some people know how to trade, but once they get out of trading with their money, they lose it all in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's profitable traders that ended up broke in real life. They buy bad real estate. They get in on bad deals. They get convinced to buy diamonds and get robbed. Drew Brees, dude. Drew Brees got robbed buying diamonds, dude. You know what I'm saying? I think he lost like a big amount of money, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Drew Brees was awarded, so he was awarded $6 million, but I think he lost like 20, man. So Drew Brees was awarded $6 million in damages after winning a civil lawsuit against a San Diego jeweler, Vaughn Morat, who he accused of fraudulently overcharging him and his wife for investment-grade diamonds. The couple claimed they were scammed out of $9 million, having paid approximately $50 million between 2012 and 2016 for diamonds. An independent appraisal valued at $6 million, less than the purchase price. So, like, this guy was told he was getting real diamonds. He thought it was a good idea. He had extra money. He buys the diamonds. He gets robbed for $6 million. He only got $6 million. He paid $15 million, man. You know what I mean? And they've printed money to zero since then. So the $6 million is worth $5 million. So he got awarded $6 million, which is less than $6 million was the day he used it. So he lost like $10 million. You know what I mean? He lost like, he lost like, yeah. The $15 million now is $3 million. $4 million in today's money compared to yesterday's money. All right. Misrepresented diamonds is long. So my whole point is someone could be richer than you and you still end up richer than them, man. If you make the right decisions. Like this guy was a quarterback worth way more than me. I might end up richer than him one day. I love Drew Brees. I'm not calling him out. Like, guy's cool. I've always thought he was top notch. No issues there. I thought he was one of the more premier family quarterbacks in the league, right? No scams really around him. He's been pretty top notch as it comes to the nuclear family. So God bless him. He's on my team when it comes to that, you know. What happened in my Metator trading bot? I'm still using the bot. What happened is the bot got underwater. I eventually shaved the price action and put some and had to put more behind it. But I'm going to open up another bot on it and get it running. Smaller time frame though, I'm going to tweak it. It's also going to have hedge mode. This bot did not have hedge mode at the time. Hedge mode meant I could open up a short to balance off the long, shave the liquidation price, and then like the short would have went up, would have made money on the short. You know what I mean? So, and again, we'll get that running and we'll get hedge mode running. So, yeah. You really got to have hedge mode on there if you're going to run the ball. See, are you a coffee drinker or like tea soft drinks? What's your go-to? I don't drink coffee, no. Yeah, I don't drink coffee. Today I haven't had anything but these 2 shots on the stream, right? I fast a lot. The last week, I went 3 days, the whole day until like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock till I ate something. Or I only ate 1 meal a day. And I ate like a hefty meal and that was it, you know. I eat a lot of steak. I probably eat steak 15 nights a month. Ribeyes and New York strips. I get prime choice. You know, I get prime, not choice, I mean. Every single stock of the stock market is green, but Master is down 2%. You're funny. Been entering a trade on the 1 minute. You look at the bigger time frames too? Always. I've been drinking too. I talked about it today, how I use the bigger time frames and the smaller time frames. So go back and watch the whole stream. Sam, if you have organs working properly and well maintained, then you are the richest person on planet Earth. 100%. I love that, man. Yeah. Yeah, we had an egg hunt here in the gated community that I live in on Saturday or Sunday. It was awesome. Kids loved it. I didn't get to go really because I can't walk. I walked on my foot and it was pretty hurt. And then the groceries came and I was sitting there putting away. I haven't put away groceries in 2 weeks. Not in 2 weeks, in 2 months. So my wife was with the kids and I said, you know what? I'll put away the groceries. I haven't taken out the trash. I couldn't, man. I couldn't walk. I couldn't put weight on my left foot. So like I couldn't do any of the tab. My wife was taking out the trash. My wife was doing everything. She never complained, not once about it. She has a help. We have like an in-house nanny that helps us. 2 different ones that come through. All right. Money don't buy you happiness, no way. Our head hunts are in the charts. You're funny. Money does buy you happiness. I'll be honest. Money can't make you happy, but money can buy you convenience that makes you very happy. For instance, I just redid my bathroom and the toilet is like a very high-end toilet that like it dries your butt, it washes you, it's electronic, and it makes the experience a wonderful. I have to be honest. Like when I go to the bathroom, I'm like, oh, this is cool, man. It's heated. It cleans me unbelievably well, and then it dries me. And then it has a button for a carbon smell analyzer that like takes the smell out and put in store. It's insane, man. So you don't even smell your you know what I mean? It's nuts. And so yeah, money doesn't buy me happiness, but that toilet's pretty cool, man. I don't know, whatever. It's just a toilet. I sound insane now, right? Another thing, let's just say you get your job says, hey, we want to send you somewhere, but we can't send your family. and it's really beautiful. It's like Lisbon, Portugal, or somewhere cool. You can use your money to take your family, and then you can all have a really good memory. So that money would have bought you a memory that you never would have had, right? So to me, money does provide a lot. I've been broke before, and I've had access to money before. And I'll tell you what, money doesn't make me happy, but I definitely like living in my gated community in my, $1 million home than when I lived in a one-bedroom apartment for 10 years right next to Queens Boulevard. I used to smell the gas station when they filled the gas up. My whole apartment would smell like gas. So I just, you know what I mean? So did money make me happy? No. I was happy in that one-bedroom apartment. I was grateful. I love God. I spent many happy days. But I wake up here and like, it's a bird sanctuary. I see the water. Like when I leave this stream, I'm going to look out into the water. The birds are going to fly. I'm going to see the breeze. It's a very soothing. So I bought a soothing, more relaxing place to live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, money is not the key to happiness. However, it buys a lot of keys. Keys to the house, the boat, the car. Yeah. Keys to your lady's heart, if you get her the right necklace sometimes, my wife is so spiritual, very less material. She still loves a nice piece of jewelry, man. You know what I mean? Women love to be loved. Women love attention. Women love nice things. It is what it is. Yeah, your name intelligence makes you happy. What does that mean? We can see that apartment in Remote Chief Channel, right? Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. There's a video living room, right? Sam Price, type in Sam Price living room, right? I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of help or whatever. I said, how can I make something interesting? I said, I could make a song about being in my living room, and I could shoot it in my living room. The entire song could be shot in the living room. And this is my living room, my tiny little one-bedroom apartment I lived in. This is where I did all my shooting. This is my, in the living room, a corner of the living room, I had a beautiful little studio. Around the corner was the one-bedroom door. You went around this bend, and there was the one bedroom. And then down, it was a hallway, and then there was a bathroom here. You went around this corner, it was a nice foyer, and there was a kitchen. That was my apartment for 10 years, folks, in Queens. Parquet floors, man, very humble beginnings. Look at me, man, like 11 years ago, man. Like, look, this is March. This is not that long ago. This was 11 years ago, man. 11 years ago, look at me, man. I always bought to get that camera, I went into $7,000 in debt. I put it on a credit card. My buddy built this computer with me. I built all my computers. We built them all from scratch, man. All amazing PCs, I started my little company, Newmont. Look, I had the $1,000 bill $1 million bill that I would put there. My little Patriots helmet, man. My Lego. I always had a Lego. I love my Legos. So, and I love sailing. I lived on that. And then you see the Lego boats that are sailboats. This is before I had a kid. Once my kid happened, we had to put this. Look, we had electric heaters. It got cold, man. So crazy, right? Now look at me now, man. Like, look, I went from this to this, man. I worked so hard. I gave my life. I finally committed to something, and I did it every day. I went from this to this. And my mom and dad died. I never got to see it all. They never got to see my new home. They never got to see where I lived. They never got to see my third child. Cherish your life. Never stop grinding. Now I got 6 screens in a beautiful studio. Like, my studio blows that out the water, man. I didn't have the money back then, I was struggling. But I always believed, man. I always believed. I changed my life. You can too. Like, you can too, man. And girls, guys and girls, everyone out there, price is flat, man. I've been waiting for the scalp. It's been flat a lot on my stream, right? 10 to 12 price action. Look at this price action. Wow, that could go either way there. That's a symmetrical. I don't like it below the 200, I'll tell you that, but it could still rip. Looks more bearish than bullish to me. I don't like that I have a long here because I'm not longing, but man. They see you, Lifer. They see you. Nobody can tell you your money. You're missing the lessons worrying about asking someone else when to buy or sell, brother. 100%. Thank you for telling them that. I mean, you're spot on with that idea, right? We all know how it feels. I'm 53. Seems so daunting to try and change my life, but you can, man. You can. You know, the other day I saw a Twitter post. The guy said, my brother quit alcohol and smoking. He goes, he learned to play a new instrument. He's doing this. He went to the gym. Be like, he's 56 and now he's had 3 years of life-changing experiences. So you could do it. You know, I always go back to this. You know, the owner of KFC, when did he get rich? Look at this. This will inspire you. Because I had dreams of becoming a multimillionaire at 19, 15. And when I was 22 and I wasn't rich, I got real depressed. Right? When this will help you. And so I started researching people that didn't get rich till way later in life, man. Right? So there's no indication in provided search. Colonel Sanders became a millionaire at a specific point in time. He sold Kentucky Fried Chicken for $2 million, equivalent to $20 million today, which made him a millionaire, right? But I remember if Colonel Sanders, man, the guy who started KFC, right? Harlan Sanders, man. I remember, I believe he made his first $1 million at like 50 or 60 years old, man. He started a Ferry-Go company which operated in Ohio between Jefferson. He canvassed for funding and became a monetary shareholder and was appointed secretary. The ferry was an instant success. See that? Winchester, Kentucky to work as a salesman for Michelin Tire. He lost his job in 1924 when it closed its New Jersey plant. And by chance, he met the general manager of Standard Oil of Kentucky, who asked him to run a service station. The station closed as a result of the Great Depression, right? The Shell Oil Company offered Sanders a service station in North Carolina, rent-free, in return for paying the company a percentage of sales. Sanders began to serve chicken dishes and other meals such as country ham and steaks. Initially, he served the customers in the adjacent living quarters before opening a restaurant. It was during this period Sanders was involved in a shootout with Matt Stewart, a local competitor who had painted over a sign directing traffic to Sanders station. Stewart killed a Shell employee who was with Sanders and was convicted of murder, eliminating Sanders' competition. That's crazy. Anyway, research people that made it. You're going to find out, man, they just kept pushing. All these great stories that you read about, you think they got it handed to them. No, man, they just kept pushing. They made it happen. They never gave up. They never took no for an answer. This looks, that's a head and shoulder pattern to me. I'm seeing chop right now. And you can see look, that's a lot of chop. I hit this trade, I sold that trade. That was my trade today. I saw my model, I got in, I got out. Very disciplined way to trade. Smart way to trade. Very proud of myself. Preserving capital, taking a loss, turning it into a win, not getting emotional, no revenge trades, just taking it for what it is. All right. How many beautiful people we have on the live, man? You could change your life. You really can. If you believe in yourself and you become your number one cheerleader and you keep pushing and you keep positive people around, I'm telling you right now, you have no idea what can happen. Some streams are for only trading. Some of my streams are for inspiring you to push yourselves and to tell you my story, man. Because it's all one part of the bigger picture, becoming financially free. And really, it's all becoming free. We become financially free so we can become spiritually free. When you're pulled, let me tell you, when you have a boss that's emotionally draining you, it affects your spirit. It affects your life. It affects your optimism. It affects everything. When you finally free yourself and start to move, start to become great, start to really change your life, man, it opens up your spirituality. It opens up your emotions. You don't feel the same. You don't feel like someone's sitting on your chest every day, you know? It's crazy when I see a picture of myself from back in the day. Like just trying to make it, you know. I'm 43. I was 32 years old right there. I just had my first child. Now I have 3 kids. Like my whole life has changed. I created this clothing company, Orion's Belt Clothing. That was mine, you know. Like I got the Celtics on, right? The Bruins. I thought I had it all on. No, I didn't change it up. My buddy edited this for me. All right, there we go. I got the Celtics. I got it all. The Red Sox. Man. God is wonderful, man. God is so good. Like I formed a relationship with God in the last 11 years that has changed the way I look at life so much, folks. I'm just so amazed. I'm so blessed. I'm so excited for the future. I'm so happy. My leg is back. Like, I have no reasons to be upset. I have no reasons to be negative. I have only reasons to be positive. I have only like ideas that can help me push. And I keep those type of people around me every single day, folks. And I stay inspired because I know that I'm in control. And if I keep those thoughts and those ideas, my frequency will rise, and that's what I will attract in my life. And that's the type of life I'd like to live. A life of abundance, a life of winning, a life of drawing high-end frequencies into my life. I want to be around people that are inspired, that push, that only want to be around great people. If you're a really positive, energetic, awesome person, you don't deserve to be around negative people. You don't deserve it. Like it shouldn't even be something you consider. That's why whenever I'm out there and someone's nasty to me on Twitter, I'm like, man, in real life, you wouldn't even be able to come into I wouldn't let you into my force field. Your frequency would be denied. I wouldn't let you near me, yet you get to comment on my post today and you know what I mean? It's like, in real life, you would have no way to contact me or be need to me. Like, so I haven't made a move on this channel. As you can see, I've been watching price action very closely. There's no, you could have got in on this long and pumped and sold it, but it's a lot of up and down craziness. Just not what I do. Yeah, if you pull a fib though, look, if you pull a fib, I think it is a 786 retracement. Yeah, it's right there. That's not bad. From this wick to that wick, impulse for the bounce, CVD divergence, which is cumulative volume delta, and you might get a move there. What indicator gives you that? Let's see. And again, I don't even need it because regular divergence is divergent. It's all the same, man. Once you go as far as I have in the charts, it's like it all just kind of blends into itself. So you could do a cumulative volume delta change, divergence lines. There we go. Funny, you called it there. That one was pretty good. Yeah, I'm just not into it, man. I like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. That's a symmetrical triangle. They mainly dump. Shoulder, shoulder, kind of head, shoulder, shoulder. It looks more bearish than bullish to me. And to leave you with a clean idea here before I let you go, let's go to Bitcoin. Let's go to Bobbitt. Let's clean off the chart again. I actually have it pretty clear. This is what I see happening. I don't suggest longing till you get above 68,000, 67K. No, sorry, 68,002, almost 68K. But like, yeah, you break above here, you make a flag or something, 21 touches, then we can long. This looks like you're going to be in this chop and then roll over. You got to break this trend. So right now, you're below trend. This is the trend, man. Ding, 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 ding. Like, you're going to just keep hitting that trend until you break above it and retest it. So I got to remain a little more short than long right now for Bitcoin. So I can see something different. Price action's chop. And shoulder kind of head. Almost looks like a right shoulder to me. They don't have to be perfect. And it takes me back to the watching this small time frame here. When I got a bull flag on a 1 minute, can you break out? It's like, And look, I can see a lot of squeezes today. Short squeezes, long squeezes, just, you know. Nice. My trades are okay. My gold and oil, not amazing, but at least, they're there. They were flat the whole time. We've been waiting because if Bitcoin dumps, they're going to rip, right? Actually, gold might dump with Bitcoin. That's the thing. This is tough right now. I'll know what to do. We get back above the 1 minute and the 5 and we make the model. I'm going to long. Then we'll pump. Then when we hit the resistance by the 1 hour, then the 1 hour will go right to the 200. I'll sell. It'll chop around. It'll get above it. I'll scalp a smaller time frame because they'll be above the 200. And I'll get my model. And then when I see the model in the 1 hour, I'll take it. I know exactly what to do. If Bitcoin ends up going to 71,000, my system is so poised to handle it and nail it. If Bitcoin dumps, my system's better. My system's more bullishly biased setup. It is. But if it dumps, we just flip it upside down and do the same exact thing. And so right now, because the 291's below the 200, I got to assume we're going to go sideways and dump. I don't know. Right now, I see sideways price action for the next, until maybe later on tonight. So that's what I see. Let me jump on into the chat here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Shout out to all the super chat. Shout out to all the people here on the live. Thank you for being here. Wow, we got way more super chats than I thought. Took a short when I see the 21 crossing. Why was I wrong? We went over that in depth. I hope you're in tune, Ricky. Shout out to Marcus. Thank you. Wolf Tamer Spirit. Wow, that's pretty cool. What if we create an AI avatar for you that is going to be on the videos that we will pre-script and you just approve? I'm cool with that. Email me, man. Yeah, email me, bro. Please email me. I'm looking for that. I'm looking to really expand at a major level. I want to work with people that really want to push, really want to start using tech, Yeah, dude, send me an email. CryptoLifers@gmail. Let's work, bro. I need people like you. I'm looking for I forgot. I'm looking for an AI intern that wants to help me create. But I'll pay you too, man. I'm not trying to, TA on Tesla, please. I'll look at the TA. Overlay UST or Bitcoin making an ABC bull flag. E-lag still, man. We could get a pump before a final dump. To me, that's just too much. Yeah. It's just too many parameters you're looking at. It's not simple. But I could be wrong. I don't want to put you down. It's not for me. TA on Tesla. Let's take a look at Tesla. And I was going to use Tesla as your example too. The same ideas with the 21 and the 200, all that fun stuff. And again, you're going to move with the general idea of the S&P. But think about it, man. I see Tesla in a parabola. I see it about, they're going to have robots and taxis and solar panels and just previous resistance is support right there. The trend line has not been affected. It's still solid and accounted for. To me, that could be a beautiful buy right there for a bounce for Tesla. Again, if the NASDAQ dumps, it does, but I see this bouncing and ripping. I see Tesla headed to $900. I think you'll be able to 3x Tesla in the next 2 to 3 years. I could be wrong, but that's my idea. I like Tesla right here at this low on the weekly. And it's oversold on the weekly. Very oversold on the weekly with a higher low above the 200 moving average after a bounce off the 200 tells me that's a really good discount buy. I'd stick to this idea. I like a long-term buy here for Tesla. Stop below 260, 269. What I do is I made my price notes extra big to help people that see my charts. So they're really simple. No one else does this. I did it, right? Because that way you have a really good idea of what's happening. Tesla looks like it could break out here nicer, all right? And long-term trades are really simple. You're like, this is it. Here's the level. When you look at something big on a bigger time frame, it's pretty simple. It's like, this is what we got. We go from there, I don't know where everyone left to on the stream, but I guess it's lunchtime. So people get hungry. Everyone, I love you. I thank you so much for being here. Hold on, there we go. I love you. I thank you so much for jumping on in. I feel absolutely amazing today. I think you could feel the vibration. I'm on point, man. I'm ready to rock. So I hope you're feeling good. I'm going to stay on it all day on the stream. Inside the Discord, I'm going to stay on the trades too. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Have no fear. Have no stress. And yeah, you can see it looks more like a descending triangle than anything else. And it looks like it's going to go lower. The smaller measured move is just the length of the base. So we'd be looking for a move somewhere down to 56, 55,000. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure, but you got to start. I think it's even smart to hedge a short now with a stop on the other side of the 200. Because if we get caught, so be it. You put what you're willing to lose and you go for that. You know, I mean, that's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio right there. So I am pushing for this idea already. I'm waiting to be perfect. I think there's a little more confirmation we could get. All right. And River, one of the only really movers. Midnight back in action a little bit. Zcash up 9%, 12%. Dexy. Can you believe Dexy's at $8, folks? Like, I talk about it almost every day. I went over to 350. It's the only coin that I can really hang my hat on recently, but I gave the call. I was all over it. I went over it multiple times, and daily looks like it's going to go for more. All right. Exactly. News says, 9 minutes to crack Bitcoin. How soon could your keys be broken? The claim comes from quantum computing research, not current reality. A future cryptographic relevant quantum computer could use Shor's algorithm to derive a private key from a public key. New estimates suggest it could happen in 9 minutes, which is dangerously close to Bitcoin's 10-minute block time. Translation. If a transaction is broadcast, public key revealed, the quantum attacker could theoretically grab it from the meme pool, derive the private key, replace the transaction with higher fees, steal funds before confirmation. This is called meme pool interception attack. Technical analyst, risk breakdown, cryptography layer, core weakness. Bitcoin uses ECDSA, elliptical curve cryptography. This is secure versus classical computers, but breakable with quantum computing, discrete long problem. Very simple, man. And I don't stress this. I go to CZ. And if you go to CZ, he addressed it as well. And I think I want to make a video about it, right? But what did he say? He said, China just released footage of their robot wolves running simulated street battles with micro missiles and grenade launchers. So crazy, right? But I just wanted to see one of his tweets. That's so cool, right? Trade crypto. Is that on the Burge? Where is it? Anyway, he made a tweet and he said it would be a slight tweak, man. And crypto would be safe from quantum computing. Like, again, we don't know the future for sure, but I'm pretty sure these, Larry Fink is going to make sure his billions are protected, man. Yeah. So everything's, I don't think it would be too much stress. All right. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be stressed of things you can't control. Control what you can today. And what you can do today is you can start. The secret to success is getting started.